Hello, everyone. I hope you all are well. Today, I'm going to talk about Jupiter's transit for this year, Guru Peyarchi, which is set to happen on the 1st of May. So, I have the chart highlighting the movement of Jupiter from Mesham to Rishabam and a few planets that I've put here, which have been affecting Jupiter this past year. You have Saturn and Rahu, which are two shadow planets that have been influencing Jupiter negatively. So Jupiter is now out of their influence and is going to be helpful. Rishabam is a house owned by Venus, which is a positive or a benefic planet, and Jupiter's effects will in turn be positive. So there are many rasis which is going to benefit from this transit. And also, I have outlined Ketu there because Jupiter is now able to look at Ketu, which is in the house of Kanya, and effectively through Jupiter's other drishti or sites. Jupiter effectively looks at house number 5, 7, and 9. So he is going to look at some positive houses, friendly houses. And through his ninth drishti, he's going to look at a house owned by Sunny, which is a good thing for those undergoing Sunny's influence. Jupiter is going to look at Makaram, and he will subdue the effect for Sunny natives, except for two Rasis. He is not going to cause that much difference for Kadagam and Kumbham. So those who are going through Ashtama Sani and Janma Sani this year, right up till March next year, well, you're going to have to deal with it because Sani's influence will always overpower that of Jupiter or Guru. So let's look at all 12 houses, the 12 rasis that are going to be influenced by the transit of Jupiter. Right, first off, we have Mesham. Jupiter is moving from your first house or your Rasi house, which was a sense of protection against Sunny's drishti. So now Jupiter is moving away, so you're lowering your shield against Sunny. So Sunny's influence is now going to be direct on your physical self. But the aspect of income, which is Jupiter, he's moving to the house of income. He's moving to your second house as per your Rasi. So that is good. But at the start of the transit, you will have some physical ailments that Jupiter will give because Sunny's full influence is now on you. Nonetheless, Jupiter is going to your second house and he's going to look at house number 6, house number 8, and house number 10. 6 and 8, which are both positive and negative, although some would argue that it's more negative. However, it also means that house number 6 and 10 is good for securing your job, or at least you will get to keep your job, or any job changes or promotions that you're looking for is going to happen this year. It's going to give you some positive growth in terms of income because next year, in March 2025, Sunny is going to move to Meenam, which is going to indicate the start of your Sade Sati or your 7.5 years Saturn period. So you will have to make some growth, save some money so that you can lose it next year. So some positive, meaning that the negative is going to come next year, but then again, we will deal with it next year for Mesha Rasi natives. Nonetheless, this Guru Peyarchi is going to be about 60% to 65% growth, a bit more positive, so it's more than average for Mesha Rasi natives. It's going to be a spurring moment for the first few months of the transit, which is a good thing. The next house is Rishabam. Jupiter is moving from the 12th house to your Rasi house. And this is a very, very good transit for Rishabam Raasi natives because Jupiter is effectively sitting on your Rasi. And he's looking at house number 5, house number 7, and house number 9. And these are very positive houses because house number 5 and 9, they are effectively for luck. Rishabam Raasi natives, after your Ashtama Sani from 2017 to 2019, you were not having a good break. After that, you were having fears to start things because that's the nature of how Ashtama Sani uh, would deal with you and would keep you in a blind spot. You are afraid to try new things. You are put to the side effectively. But now, this year onwards, after the Jupiter transit, you can try new things, step up your game because you have Purva Punya Sthanam activated by Jupiter because he's looking at house number 5 and 9, which are Purva Punya Sthanam. And house number 5, 7, and 9, they are the three Uyar Bhavams, which are uh, family or traits of spirits or souls that are close to us. House number 5 is children. House number 7 is your spouse or partner. House number 9 is your father. So all of these people are going to benefit from you, from your good luck that is effectively sitting on your Rasi house and disseminating through you. So you are going to do good for them if you have never helped them, never helped your children that much or your spouse. Especially during your Ashtama Sani time, your spouse would step in and sort of alleviate the situation. It's now your turn to take care of things, and you will get the opportunity, the chances at work, promotions will kick in. Again, house number 5 and 9 is going to be activated. Very good time for Rishabam Raasi. Also, Sunny is now in house number 10. He's going to sit in house number 11, which is your Labhasthanam next year. So from 30th of March 2025, a year from now, when Sunny transits, moving into house number 11, which is Sunny's perfect place for Sunny to be, is house number 11 for Labham, for Rishabam Raasi and Thulam, and a few other friendly planets to Sunny. Next year onwards, much better than this year, but you are all on the upward trend. So all the best to Rishabam Raasi natives. Next, we have Mithuna Raasi natives. Needless to say, you all suffered severely during the Ashtama Sani period from 2020, 21, 22. That was at the height of the pandemic. Many of you who came to me, you all had tears. You all were stuck in another country or couldn't get your visa to travel or your PR, or you couldn't come back to your home country. Parents were unwell, spouses unwell, children were going wayward. There was no progress. So, needless to say, all the effect of Ashtama Sani was in full force. It's not going to go away. It's going to become better. Guru is moving from house number 11, which is our Labhasthanam. Supposed to have helped you, but because of Ashtama Sani, nothing of that sort happened. So he's moving from house number 11 to house number 12, uh, which is the house for foreign travel, amongst other things. And you're also going to sleep well because house number 12 is for sleep. And you will have peaceful undertakings this year. And Guru is going to look at house number 4, house number 6, and house number 8, which means that uh, any job security or any applications, interviews that didn't happen, especially getting a job overseas, securing an employment visa, working visa, short travel, 1 year, 2 years, 3 years working visa. It's all going to come through. Uh, you're going to help your mother. Your mother is now going to be a bit more proud to talk about you to her friends and her social circle. She could not help you much because of your Ashtama Sani. Needless to say, all those are going to go away. The negative things are going away, and you can be rest assured things are going to start working out for you. Uh, However, Rahu is still in your 10th house of your Rasi. Uh, he's not going to give you that much of a progress in terms of work, but you are not going to lose your job. Whatever job that you're applying for, which is of equal standing to where you are now, you will get it. You'll be interviewed and you will get that job. You are not going to have a springboard to a job which is of higher standing. Not this time, but you're getting there. Next year onwards, much better for Mithuna Rasi natives. So all the best to Mithuna Rasi natives. I would give about 60% growth this year. All the best. All right, next we have Kadagam Rasi. Well, effectively, you are still running your Ashtama Sani, and Sani has almost finished with Pusa Nakshatra natives, Pusam. It started with Punar Pusam, a few padams there, then he did a full circle with Pusam, and now Ilium Nakshatram natives, or Ilium star, which is a star owned by Mercury. So those natives are going to be affected. So for Kadagam Rasi, although Jupiter is now moving to your 11th house or Labam, supposed to be helpful, but because of your Ashtama Sani, again, the unfortunate event that has affected Midhuna Rasi during their Ashtama Sani, you are going through it now. Jupiter is unable to help you, but you're almost there. 30th of March 2025 is when the last day of Ashtama Sani for Kadagam is. So you have a year left, thereabouts. Hang in there. Uh, Things will start to get better. The darkness is going to alleviate itself. You can see the light in the tunnel that you're going through now. You're traversing a very dark tunnel, Kadagam Rasi natives, because your Rasi Lord is the moon, and it is different for different. It's different for each Kadagam Rasi natives because the moon is the only planet that can grow and shrink. It depends on whether you were born on a Paurnami time, full moon, or a Amavasya time, and anything in between that. So the only growing and shrinking planet is the moon, and there is no same or similar reading for each of us, not just for the moon, but for any Rasi native. However, rest assured, you are going to be out in a year or so, although it doesn't seem that way at this time. But Sunny will do its thing. He's giving you the lessons about other people's money, about who your friends are, your family are, how you can be treated by the social structures, by your friends if you are unemployed, if your business is not working. Kind of makes visible the ways of the world, the other side of the world. There are some things that we are not used to, not the positive side, but the negative side of the world. Human nature, human traits will be made visible to you, and it's a lesson that you're going to carry lifelong. And Sunny is giving you that lesson. Just take it that way. A year left, it'll be over soon. So, all the best to Kadagam Rasi natives. Right now, for Simha Rasi natives, you are going through something called Ardhashtama Sani, or Sani in the seventh house, looking directly at your Rasi. Simha Rasi is a house owned by the sun or Suryan. Sani doesn't like the sun or Suryan, so he's going to already begin to negatively affect you, especially your spouse or partner, right? So, although Jupiter is moving to house number 10, which is the Karma Bhava, karma not in the sense of the karma that we know as cause and effect, but karma in the sense of action or job. In the present day is job. So he is moving into house number 10, supposed to be beneficial for you. He's going to look at house number 2, 4, or 6, but I would say it's just kind of average for Simha Rasi natives with the transit of Jupiter. But he will give you some gains. Why? Because Sunny is going to move to your 8th house next year in March 2025, and you will start your Ashtama Sunny. So you will have to start gaining things now to lose it later. So Jupiter is going to help you with your job by looking at house number 2 and 6, especially. He's not going to negatively affect your family life, but he's going to give you a strain, especially for women who are Simha Rasi now. Uh, if your husband or your partner is Maghra Rasi, Kumbha Rasi, or Meena Rasi, and they are already struggling with the Sade Sati effects of Sunny, they will get a job, but they'll get a job at a lower standing from you, at a lower level than what they should be operating at. If they are an engineer, they'll get a technician's job, for example. And your Jupiter in the 10th house is going to help them get it. It's not they are getting it because they are going through, if they are Makaram, Kumbham, or Meena Rasi, they are unable to get any positive effects, but you are going to do it for them. But by getting it, it's going to alleviate the finances of the family. It's going to help a bit. So you're going to start saving more than spending money for your next year's Ashtama Sani effect. So I'm going to say some good with some bad. But this is a forewarning to actually start saving and to be cautious of the time that is going to come. So Simha Rasi natives, I would give somewhere between 45 to 50% benefit of Jupiter, but it'll be helpful more to your spouse or partner than to you. So good luck, Simha Rasi natives. Next, we have Kanya Rasi or Kani Rasi, and this is the best house to benefit from the Guru Peyarchi or the transit of Jupiter. This is the first and foremost house. I would give it easily 90% benefit. Uh, Past few years, nothing great has been happening for Kanya Rasi, and you've been helpful to others, especially with your wisdom. But this time, with Jupiter moving to your 9th house, he's going to look at your Rasi through his 5th Drishti. House number 1, house number 3, house number 5. So 9 and 5 is already activated. Again, Purva Punyasthanam, luck. And he's looking at your Rasi where Kedu is sitting, at least for the next few months. And that will be a really good change for you. Any projects or any ventures that you have been thinking of doing but you haven't done, afraid to do, some things that never fell into place, it'll all happen this year. You should make the move, try out new ventures, try out new things, get into the business, get into postgraduate studies, apply for PR, all right? Do a new gig, get into a new hobby. Anything that makes money is also good. In fact, you will be a bit more courageous this year. You'll have a bit more guts because Guru is also going to look at Vrichigam, which is your 3rd house, for courage. And all the best to you. 90% is a very good score. Kanya Rasi. Uh, Also, Saturn is in house number 6, which is another good house for Sunny to be, which is the Upachaya houses 3, 6, 10, and 11. Uh, Very good house. Although I would say next year when he goes into house number 7, you'll start your Ardhashtama Sani. But again, that is still some time away. This is a good year for Kanya Rasi natives. You should make full use of it, and all the best to you. All right, next we have Thulam Rasi. This is going to be interesting because Thulam is another house owned by Venus. Uh, Jupiter is currently in Rishabam, another house owned by Venus, Sukran. But Thulam Rasi natives, it's a bit interesting because Jupiter is moving to your eighth house, which is a Durstana house. It's a negative house for Thulam. But he's going to look at the houses before and after you. He's looking at house number 12, house number 2, and house number 4. You are going to work harder. You're going to use your physical body for work. You may be a manager or a supervisor at your work. For example, if you're working in a warehouse and you are managing people, the situation that Jupiter will give you is such that you may lose staff members at your work, and you would have to step in and do the physical labor yourself. You have to move around, put boxes into shelves, or you have to drive the equipment or the machinery. So you have to use your physical body for uh, getting your work done. And moving to house number 8, he's going to vanish. And again, that's okay because next year he's going to go to house number 9. Next year also Sunny, which is your Dharma Karma Adhipati. Sunny is a helpful planet for Tulam Rasi. Next year, Sunny Peyarchi next year, he's going to move to house number 6 and he's going to give you a better job. You will change your job, that will be helpful. And that job that you're changing to will match your intellectual and academic level. So what you studied for, you will get. And just hang in there, Tulam Rasi. I would give you easily 55%. Right? Not so bad. So all the best to Tulam Rasi natives. But at the start of your Guru Peyarchi, because he's going to house number 8, Guru will give you some ailments, some minor ailments with your stomach area. So anywhere below the lungs to your pelvis, you may have some ailments, right? Some kind of something like the formation of kidney stones if you're not going to the washroom properly, digestive problems, because Jupiter is also the aspect for food. Venus is for fine food, Jupiter is food in general. So you may have cases of acid reflux, indigestion, for example. So you have to take care of your eating habits, eat proper food, eat on time, drink a lot of fluids, cut down on alcohol. All right, so that's my advice for Tulam Rasi natives. All the best to you. All right, next we have Vrichiga Rasi. Jupiter is moving to your 7th house and is looking directly at your Rasi house, looking at your first house. And how good is that? Especially after your 7.5 years, which ended at the end of 2019. Nothing major, nothing awfully good has happened for Vrichiga Rasi. But this year, that's going to change. Guru is going to help you. He is going to look at house number 11 and your Rasi house, house number 1, and house number 3, which is courage. So house number 11, which is Labhasthanam. Ketu is sitting there. Ketu naturally brings changes, especially if you're going through a dasa or bhukti period of Ketu. If you have not gotten anything good this past few years, especially after your Sadhe Sati, if you have been running around, running averagely the past few years, Ketu is going to flip it around with the help of the rays from Jupiter. So house number 11 is profit, labham, positive growth. It's all going to step in for Vrichigam. I will easily give 80 to 85% for Vrichiga Rasi natives. Very good growth. Moving into Rishabam Raasi, Jupiter, which is a house owned by Venus. All right, so Jupiter is in a very pleasant state, and he's going to look at Vrichigam, which is a house owned by his friend Mars or Savai. And also looking at house number 3, which is Makaram, a house owned by Sunny. Your speech and courage is going to go up. You are able to speak more confidently at work. People will listen to you. People come to you for advice, and what you say is going to happen. So All the best to my Vrichiga Rasi natives. All right, next we have Dhanusu Rasi natives. Your Rasi Lord itself is Jupiter. Unfortunately, he is going to go to the sixth house, going to go vanishing or going missing in the sixth house because that is another Dusthana house. So, what that means is this is going to be an average period after the transit. Uh, However, Sunny in the third house is a protection for you. And that is a Ubachaya house, and Sunny's pleasantness will come out. You will work harder. Again, you will use your physical body for work, kind of like for Thulam Rasi that I mentioned. But one thing is moving to the sixth house, and Jupiter is going to look at the 10th, the 12th, and house number two. So he's going to give you some mental and physical stress, some level, but he's not going to let you lose your job. But even if you lose a job, you'll get one very quickly, or your boss itself will outsource you to a sister company. And so you won't lose your stream of income, but you will lose your uh, speech power. Your uh, voice is not going to be taken seriously. People are not going to come to you for advice. People are not going to listen to you. Uh, you are going to have to bear the brunt of losing things. If there is a loss in a team at work, you will be assigned the blame, for example, because you have lost you have lost your power of speech. So you are the scapegoat for the situation. But then again, you will have your job, income stream will be flowing. There won't be any disruption. Um, However, being out of your 7.5 years itself is a positive thing. Nothing great is going to happen yet. You haven't fully ignited your engines for growth. That is going to happen when Jupiter moves out next year's transit, and we will talk more then. For the moment, I would say Dhanusu Rasi natives, I'll give you 40 to 50% benefit with the transit. Again, average. So all the best to Dhanusu Rasi natives. All right, next we have Magara Rasi, and this is another Rasi that is going to be in an excellent state with the transit of Jupiter. Jupiter is moving to your fifth house, and he is effectively going to look at house number 9, 11, and house number 1, which is your Rasi. So, whenever I say house number 5 and 9 itself, it means Purva Punya Sthanam, luck from the past and the present is going to kick in. If in your current birth, um, luck is supposed to play itself out, is when Jupiter is having an influence with house number 5 or 9, especially house number 9. 5 is for past house luck. House number 9 is present day luck. And with it looking at your physical body, house number 1, you are going to be given the strength. All right. Although you're coming out of Sade Sati, you're still under the final influences of your 7.5 years. Sunny is still there, but at least now mental clarity is going to kick in. Luck is going to play itself out. Uh, I would say that this is the year that you should start planning things, putting things in order, shifting things, and you would be able to figure things out. Your strategic mind will start working. Currently, Sunny is in house number 2. Next year, when he's going to house number 3, although Rahu is there, but Rahu will come back to house number 2. At that time, Jupiter will look at Rahu, which is going to be in house number 2, your income stream, and that is going to be beneficial because Rahu would try to proddle along and make things a bit more interesting for you, so you will make income next year onwards. But this year itself, your ability to think about what's going to happen next for you, think about your future, and to plan accordingly, that will start working out. You are going to plan for the long term. is going to stick. It's not going to be like your Sade Sati time where what you plan is going to change. And this time you're going to be helpful for your children and for your father, and your elder sibling is going to benefit from your Jupiter transit. And again, house number 11, where Ketu is sitting, sorry, house number 9, where Ketu is sitting, that's going to be a huge benefit for you because it's going to flip around your Bhagyasthanam, house number 9, and joy is going to kick in, especially when you see that what you have aimed for, the target that you are aiming for, you're going to hit. And that is going to create attraction, and you are going to want more of that. Things are going to start working out positively for Makara Rasi, and I'll give you 70% benefit. So all the best to Makara Rasi natives. All right, so the next one is Kumbha Rasi. As mentioned, nothing positive is going to happen with the Jupiter transit for Kumbha Rasi because your Janma Sani, which is the middle of your 7.5 years, is happening now. That will dominate, right? Sunny's influence will always dominate over that of Jupiter. So I won't say anything positive that's going to happen for Kumbha Rasi natives, at least for the next 1 year. There are three stars in this Kumbham house, which is a few padams of Avitam, full padam of full 4 padams of Sadayam, owned by Rahu, and then you have a padam of Puratadi, which is owned by Jupiter. So Jupiter itself is having one padam, one leg there, but sorry, going to have 3 legs there, but he's moving to the 4th house. He's going to look at house number 8, house number 10, and house number 12. So losses are definite, especially with Rahu in your 2nd house. You are going to learn about how you're going to lose respect even within your own family when you don't have income stream, how the world views you, friends. You're going to learn about friends and enemies. Who you thought were friends were actually not friendly anymore. Who you were thought were your enemies have suddenly stepped forward to help you. So you're going to learn about that. You're going to learn about paying loans, especially housing loans, property loans, land loans. Paying for that with no income. So that's going to be an unpleasant thing. That's going to extend till at least middle of 2025. Unfortunately, that is something you have to bear, and you have to go to people you don't want to go to ask for help, financial help, ask for advice, ask for a place to stay. And again, nothing positive right now for Kumbha Rasi. But again, hang in there. You're almost out of it. And that's all I have to say for Kumbha Rasi natives. So all the best to you. And finally, we have Meena Rasi. So Meena Rasi natives, you have started your Sade Sati, 7.5 years. You're on the first phase now. And you have Jupiter moving to your 3rd house, which is house of confidence and younger siblings. So they will benefit. You will have confidence. But because of Sunny's drishti looking at your 2nd house, you have started to get impacted with income, with your speech, with family life. It's all getting negatively influenced, starting to now, as per the dictum that you are starting your Sade Sati. But with Jupiter moving to the 3rd house, looking at house number 7, 9, and 11, you have a last run to make changes this year. If you want to start something new, want to change houses, change jobs, this is the time to do it. Right after about September till about Deepavali this year, you can't do that. If you do, Sunny's influence will make it like if you're changing jobs towards end of this year, it's going to be an unpleasant jump. Then you'll think like, why did I do that? But if you want to do it now during the start of the transit of a Jupiter transit, right till about August, you can do that. If you want to get into a business, a trade, if you're working or you want to start a side gig, right? You can do that now. Your confidence will sustain. House number three will be active only for a few months, so better make the most of it. Next year, with the Sunny's transit to your Rasi itself, to Meenam, that'll be the start of your Janma Sunny. So that's going to be negative. If you want to do anything now, my advice is do it by at the very latest first week of September. After that, it's going to be Sunny's influence will start to tighten its grip around you, and that's going to be unpleasant. It's going to start to be unpleasant. So I would give about 40% now. Towards the end of the year, it'll start to dwindle to about 30% on account of Rahu is still in your Rasi house. So that is your Janma Rahu. Then it's going to be kicked in, doubling up with Janma Sani. So both will cross over for some months next year. And again, that will be quite an experience. But we will talk more about it in upcoming videos. So in short, anything you want to do now, any changes, do it from May till about first week of September. So all the best to my Meena Rasi natives. And that concludes this video. And please reach out to me if you want me to read your personal chart, your Rasi chart for forecast. If you want me to look at matching for a future spouse, please reach out as well. Do leave a comment and feedback in the comment section. And I wish you all the very best with this Guru transit and the upcoming Hindu and Tamil New Year. I wish you all the very best and God bless you all. Thank you.